example, we could meet in separate Zoom rooms if there is such a thing as a Zoom room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so yeah, I think there's multiple ways. You guys get individual Zoom accounts. I think you can meet up to a certain number of people. I can, if folks want to try this link just sometime in the next couple days and see if you can meet somebody there and just talk to them using the link for our class, that'd be great, because if it doesn't work, then I'll try and figure out how to make it work.
So all we need to do is open up the class meets here.
Yeah, so you go to tlingitlanguage.com.
And we don't need you to do any signing in?
I don't think so.
Because everybody, I mean...
They were talking, right, and I wasn't there. So,
Could you leave? No.
My work is done. Early sabbatical. No, I'm just kidding. So, yeah, but if folks want to try that maybe in the next day or so, just set up a time and just try it and see if you can just talk to each other, share your screens, do whatever. That would be great. Because then if it doesn't work, I'll try and figure out how to make it work.
Well, let's set up the times now.
Wat ginsai into us ku wishkonach gahi da adi. Guatginsa Yitua Sagu Wushkanach
Satuk ka
Yita Adi.
kashke kadeoji. Want to set up a time tomorrow?
Sure.
Yes.
Watginsa Washkungausa Kungausa Aya Yidat Kungausa Achasaku Watginsa Kungausa Chadakasa
Ikau?
Joseph?
Deg?
Deg Gal?
Okay.
Okay.
Deg Gal?
Deg Gal.
Sekanen?
And let me know, have a backup plan in case it doesn't work so you guys can have a session. But try just going to where our class meets. So for those of you who might not have done that before, you go to tlingitlanguage.com. Oops, that's not it. Is that it?
Nee,
That's
had
it.
je achtje?
Ah,
Okay.
Kadeen. Okay. You guys aren't on the other side of the lake now. That's good. So to access that link, you go to Learning Tlingit and you go to Intermediate Tlingit. I think they're all the same link these days. And then you go down here to, you can access our class by clicking here. That should launch you into the Zoom meeting. And hopefully it just works so you guys can just meet there without me being there, because that would be great. And then, although it tells me if you're going to be there, so I might sign on and just watch or participate, but maybe not. Okay. Dakka Tlingit ya dech gao aya hashuka dekeha yati yahasyati. They're 1 hour ahead of us. Hashukach. They're in front of us. Although it's the same time now, right? Okay, any other thoughts, questions? I thought what we'd do is the thing that's one of the hardest things for me is to ha'in kananik yisai Tlingit Einach Ye'aweh Shnei Desak Shkachtu Desak Yedu Saku At Ya Kain Kadunigi Aweh Dusayi Dunach Sati Gudachsawe Ye'aweh Jadasayi Tuwasaku Ha'in Kainigi Qakukwati Yak Gwash Isai kunachach tuasagu kakwaak yata kachshikit jachan kanani gwash kakt kachadashi aga kakwaak hel kadin kachshikit kasag uqa hechwasaku wanach saya ya aqa away yewe achtuasagu wushkach tusku ya guksa away uhan daqa nachsa hasati guksa keutu wat guksa Tlingit stutultu ka adu insa ya chadasa itawasagu ha in kayinigi yewe achtuasagu kia aquqo a Tlingit qinach qwastle qa qinach etinech yeti helwasaka qwati yewe itqa we beginning Tlingit workbook adachaya we asai we the cut we nouns adataya kakachtu aq hasaya gachtu sak yewa achtu asaku yuhan itchaya hechasaku jayuka ginki we structure ka grammar dot ka we Kukusani ayachwatlayech we kutan ya dak ye da duneyi atatinech yati hatuye yati yewe adatu techwatunk agakach shechit we kukakach. So what we'll do now is we'll do introductions. We'll just introduce ourselves however we feel comfortable. There's no correct or incorrect way to do this, I don't think. It's not like there's a standard. There's certainly some tips that we can go over at some point on how or when to introduce yourself, but we just want to get to know each other. That's the sole purpose of this. It's not a performance, really. I would like you to do it in as much Tlingit as possible, and whatever you feel like sharing. And I'm going to try to write your Tlingit and your English names up here, but I'm just bad with names in every language. I'm bad with names, but I can usually remember Tlingit names okay, but then I don't know how to spell them when people tell them to me, because spelling Tlingit names is always kind of arbitrary anyways. And then I always forget people's names. I feel bad. I worked for the ferry terminal in a small town, and sometimes people, they'll be talking to me and I'd be all nice, and then they're like, okay, well, I'll get a ticket, and I'll say, what's your name? Your face would just drop. I just feel so terrible. I should just say, oh, how do you spell your name? It's Bob, B-O-B, right? Anyways, so we'll start with that, and then we'll just move into, like, if anybody has questions or thoughts. And what I'd like you to do over the weekend is to put together 5, and if you got to go just find them and copy them, that's fine. I would like you to put together 5 sentences that collectively say something. So there's a flow to them, not like, the cat went under the table, the sky is green, just like not just random, so I don't know why the sky would be green. Just like that, have just a small thing. It doesn't have to be a story. It doesn't have to be complete, but it's a string of thoughts that sort of flow together. Okay, so with that, we'll do our introductions, and then we'll move on to covering the nouns from the beginning Tlingit workbook. Then we're going to start walking through some other concepts based on that same slideshow we were doing the other day. And we'll talk about some structural language things. So who wants to go first?
I do.
Oh.
Satuk Aya. Blake Kana Linda Bellardi. Gunath Chish Jock Ka Hune registration. Gunath Chish K Hut Natsin
Okay.
Hucha
Gunshish Satuk Yachtu Yake Sahwa Achi. Okay.
Stock,
Go ahead.
stock, ayak, satuk, dach, slenikt, adchayi,
Okay.
aya, spikat,
Achis.
huch,
Okay. Gunshish.
Nakshish Hagi Adi. Barbara Searles. Gleit Kach Henach. Teish Duklan Yuchut Duasach. Tlingit Henach. Kagwan Tan Chutsati. Gleit Ka Yadi Ayachet. Ganach Tedi Dutch Chan Ayachet. Shid Kakwan Dach. Junoch Aya Ye Chet Yati. Seo dak wusitan tatge. Seo dak wusitan. Seo dak guksatan.
Yeah, what?
Ishan uhan.
Okay. Oh, Gunshish. What? Go Khus Aya Ya Hakus Yachaya Yekakwati. Maybe we'll all have duck feet. Okay. Hidetpa Dusa. Feel free to let me know if you want your name spelled differently, if I forget glottal stop or anything. It's not a problem.
Anshawatki Aksai like Gainach Sarah Dibdal Yuchat Duasak Takwane D Ka Nimi Pu Nachatsati Ka Gusitan Yadi Ayachat Nimi Pu Aya or what I say Nimi Pu Dakunuhu Hinya Kwan Dak Chish.
Okay. Sheesh.
Hús uhu you hat duasach leit ha heinach Bob Fagan you hat duasach zante ki hini ye hat yati washtan kwan aya hat
Okay.
edla di hatin tatge kedla di yan uaha nut.
Oh, yeah, what? Asituasaku Atcha. Ankanins Kasko Dot Yehasiti. Kayel. So, Yeke. Mako.
Sagi nagu yu chit duasag. Kiksa di chit dach ayachet. Yechna ayachet. Gua kwan yuri ayachat.
Okay, okay. Itchasai Chasage. What's your last name?
Logan.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Kasana ki khatu sak. Ki kushi hit dak. Dakawadi khatsati. Kakon kwandak. Patty McNeil.
Okay. Kunchish Johan. Ja, ich die Idee ko it ko hatse.
Derdi ka Genevieve you got the wasak. Yes, now got city. Same time, Katagwan town. Yadi, Yahat, Kanakawadak. Kanak, Achtu, Siku. Yukatangi, Kaachtu. That's where ya de Hagut. Gonna see.
Okay.
Iska aya Lake Clock enough. Duffy Wright, aka Daphne. Acting Khan. Ayaklet. Kashay Hittach. Kuna Yati. Aktuisigu Yat Yekati. Akuni. Deji in. Francis.
Okay, kunchish.
Yana 8, Yuchat Duasak, Leita Henach, Barbara Craver, and what Duffy said. I'm very happy to see everybody. I can't say it in Tlingit yet. Kunashchish.
Okay. Ach tu. Okay. Quatsagu. Jadakasa. Yuch satini. Ach tu yake yuch satini. Ach tu yake Tlingit sachwa achi. Ach tu asagu yuch eight sachwa achi. Yake. Yake.
Kunashchish.
Ah. You did what, Dusa? Okay, kunchish. Yech nach satiega.
Oh.
Ah, good. Het gedene sachwa ach. Kleidehin se ye naka. Tuk. Oh. Okay. Okay. Gayati. Etra kuk. Who's next?
Yongha Yuhat Dwasa. Wanjunachat City. Korean yadi Kangwan Kwan. Aks eat idashi Saku Yuhatangi Tlingit.
Ah. Okay. Yekwati. Cheesh.
Oh, Blake Christopher.
Okay. You have to send me the spelling for the nach sati part. Okay. It's cheesh.
That's why I couldn't spell that right on there. But, no, I did it wrong. I got this set up for international keyboard.
That part is
An ka you had to a sock. Tlingit and Barbara Hobbes like cog and Pocketon shaw a hat Desmond Quan Dach hat city. Yidiat kua Quanin de Hua.
okay. Yekecha ach satini can cheesh.
Skyde you had to a sock klingik enach Tina Jules Platecock enach Dakla Shah Ayachat Daislein Dach Chat Sati Aquamlin Ach Nechli Sati Yak a Yachwasatini
Yekecha can cheesh. Tadach ach tlil kohas yach. Okay.
Jedu sitzin.
Yak a Yachsatini Yedasatin Yechat to a sock Plate Talk Kanach Millie Hall Yechat to a sock Kokatan Shaw Ayachat Duckloidi Yeti Ayachat Ach Ish a toot June Duatan Achaway Duckloidi Yeti Duckloidi Yeti Hatsati Daisleen Kwan Dach Daisleen Kechat Uawat Haynes Junction Dakwa Kadak U Kwau Gulchish
Yekecha can cheesh. Kuninach Barbara ayayati. Naskinach Barbers are going to save the language.
Yes, tutla you had to so click in Pauline Bun Hokitan Shawat you do sitsin ka young ka it nachagut. I'm following them around.
Okay. Hast du itch nachagutch?
Has to it nachagut
Nachagutch, yeah.
nachagut.
Everywhere they go, I go.
Kenneth Juch you had to a sock. Late cock Enach Dan Shorty. Yes nach Hatsati. Pilkaton Hatsati. Gunana Yadi. Achlis You do sagen sind. Deslin Quandach ayachat. Whitehorse ye chat kauziti. Whitehorse ye chat yati. Kanaschish.
Yakecha, yake. Chish. Kuchitan chitzin. Shitahin. Yake. Yidetko adusa.
Sikinya yuchat du asau.
Okay.
Deshitan shawua yachat dazlan kwana yachat. Ach ish kleisha o chacheno. Ach shish seislat kunyetu kla. Yan yadi yatki ka. Yan yadi yadi. Ka dakliwedi dechank. Atleni xichanach ishas yan yadi. Ach kla. Played ka. Ellen Fournier. Ach shish Lionel and Rita Fournier. Stephanie yuchat du asau played ka. Enach. Yak eich satini a chuni chune. Gudesi atkishi. Plain apple tsugi. It's really good to see you again, Kune, and I'm really happy to be here this evening, Gulchish.
Chish hati dudi. Yakecha. Yakecha. Yes, chish. Yakanajuch. Wadusa yidet. Yakanakwat.
Trying to
Gwash Audagon. Gwash Daislin.
Days.
Ah.
Yoke Uxatini, Audagon, Yuchat Duasak, Plate Ka, Chinak, Sid Hartley, Yuchat Duasak, Uk Shlisku Has, Swiss Kwank Has Wusiti, Hesh Uk Nak Hutsiti. Cheese.
Hashaya Dahin. Yake. Yidetko.
Whoever's speaking should probably talk in the back.
Yeah. You waiting for Tesla?
Yidetko, huh?
Good, okay.
Gestant ayachat. Yan yedi ayachat. Dak kakwan chatsiti. Yaketu usatini.
Yakecha. Chish.
Oh, sorry. Dwayne O'Coin. Clay cocktail.
Yakecha. Chish.
Shantla yuchat dusa or Shantla aya achsai Gledkach enach Lorraine Dewhurst yuchat dusa Yes nach Hatsiti Gunana Yadi ayachat ka Yanedi Dutch an ayachat Daislin Kwandach, Daislin Yechatati.
Okay, Gunnish Cheesh.
Hokatan Ayachat.
Yeah. Tadechat.
Kopitan clan.
Deeg Kopitan, Deeg Yeneri, Deeg Daklaweri.
Yeah.
Talking from there, see if they can hear. Check. Siftin, you had to us out. Yeneri Shai had. You had to us out, Tlingit Kena. Juanita Kramer. Blake Kagena. Deshiton de Chunk, Deslin Juan, I cut Yeti. Claw, you do a saw Pokahan, of Sleep, you do a saw Safe Law. You get two exitini, a honey. Two yik.
Okay, Gunnish Cheesh.
East 10.
Adechitiga.
No, she.
No, that's it.
It's East.
Oh, Tadechat.
East 10. East 10.
Yadechika.
Why?
No.
Yedi Shah.
Yeah, Cheesh.
Kunchi.
Yakecha.
Ayade, you had to suck. Blake Cog, Enoch, Annie Johnston. Yefnach, Hutsity. Kokitan Shawu, Ayachat. Gaislin Kwan, Ayachat. Johnston Town Duck. Yen Yeti, Ayachat. A claw. Nathan the sheet, you do a sogan. Ka Blake Ka Daisy Fox. A cleat. Sit the camera one. Ayade, you the sogan. Ka English Annie Johnston. Gwyneth Cheesh.
Okay, so Achin Kudanik, Tlingit Sai.
Ayade.
Ayade. Thank you for Tank. Adechitiga.
Ayade.
Yeah, Cheesh. It's a good test. Okay, Gunnish Cheesh.
Yach Hana. Yarachin, you had to suck. Sing it in a. Kim Smart. Gleedka in a. Dr. Shaw Ayachat. Achtu Yak Achtu Yak Yak Satini, Daislin. And to get you on.
Okay.
Sahwaha Singit Yukutangi.
Okay.
Kunstish.
Yeah, you got to lock. Can Kudanik, Tlingit Sai.
Yeah, the tune.
Okay. Gunnish Cheesh. Achtu Yake. Tsukga. Tukatra Kuga.
Sky the Tlingit Ena. Denise Johnston, Glaycock Ena. Ducklawady Shaw. Kukaton. Yeti. Ayachat.
Gunnish Cheesh. Yakecha. Oh. Stakatuhanage. Keka ke dushunach. Ya kaya yeti. Wuchin. Yawe achtu yake. Tachonach. Yahayukatangidat. Yayinaki. Yan yinaki. Tachwasach tu yake. Ya which kaku aya. Wakeka hastu tuasagu. Yandu ya yantitlaki. Aka ye kwati. Chakana ako aya chaklakiki aya kana ako. Ya Tlingit tlikayi aya yitu yeti. Tlingit yukatangi yitu yeti. Ya hatlaku kwankian hastu tlatsini yitu yeti. Achaway tlach konach aya yagachtutlak. Wuch in kakusachantin katulla an. Yak echawe takat yuhan. Khone aya akhsayi. Shukach adi awe uhan. Ye chit yidach. Ya chak owe. A klein hit aya ha anikaye uti ilchut. Qaisan hit. Shah hit. Kushta hit. Dak awutli hit. Ilchudi hit. Yidat qa just ye hit aya kutzati. Chak owe shia dehin owe uhan. Ya hastu ya ktenk ko a ayikt. Ha anikachas u kuchu owe. We Navy ye do asago a. Wasa hasawa in. Ya hatla has. Hasi has. Haat has. Yidat qa just chaye ko genke aya. Shukach adich sati a. Ye awe ha ina kawanik ya achlil ko klein. Ya achla du ish. An kadachtzin ye du sagen. Ya qone aya Tlingit du tultu. Stuchal tu. Ya Keka ka Cajun taco shuachich. Ya achlil chedach. Gushtehina ya desai. Glekach enach sai dennis. Ye awe. Du shatqa a. Ka achlil achla du kla. De kinach sati. Achawe de kina awe uhansu. Ya ach ish has aya yupik kasami. Ya ka guantan ko adu yatas uwasa. Skanda u. Achawe ka guantan yadi ayachat. Ya tachonach achtu yak e. Tlingit ye jechani. Yewe achtu asagu. Wujin. Shilzidain aya. Yuch atish atki. Ye kwati yuhan. Kanai ak. Hayuk atangi yitla yechi. Aka kone aya yichenach aya. Ya kak koda. Ya nadai hin yach. Isaku we hin klein. Chikleich aya. Kak koda. Ye awa hayuk atangitsu. One kanins koa. Wash we sit. Sit adach aya. Ya kanadain. Ya nadai hin. Wash we hin. We nadai hin adach uwaguch. Wash we chisha tin. Ya hin. Hin aya. Kashi toa ashka. Shita wutli. Achawe. One kanins. Ye yan de Cajun. Kaktaku hin. Yach nakati ituwu. Ye away wash just yahin, just clear ye tea. Yes, the cut a two ye, sa, shell, dasa, kone aya taku, ya takuich. Aka away, just konach yak a yis hin yach. Ye away which alcohol kaku has to wasaku hatu ye tea. A joey inka honiki dat. Yak echa, the cut you han. Tachonach tu yak e. Ya, it's just yak. We dechgau yachana, dechgau aya, dachyagi chana. Ye awach to was good to cut ye kusti tin. Ye singit in aya, tukach yis tea. Ye awa aka wuchin ye gachtut Ha ina kawanik ya kitchnach, chak, su hedeshu gachtutan. Ya kuskate the kate. Hajich anakas kau de kate. Ye kwati. Kleshach tuashku a kuchte aya we ya art ani. Clegg. A dachaya konesha kautlitzuch. Haji yes. Ye awa watlingit at was kuku haji ye kukwati. Hatu ye titsa. Gwash just kak ye gi aya. Tlingit ye tlayechi. Tlingit tin aya. Ye awa. Tugach ye tla art tsu. Achawe ach tu yake. Yakone aya hayatki. As in aya. Ke udutsi wat we tlingit ye chetangitin. Wasa hastu tu wasa guwan. Keuchne. Kahuan ish. Kashkawu. Ka takatas adusa ach ihas arletu tlingit. Wasa hastu tu. Chuya hastu tu aya tlech klein. Gwash kone aya sagachtu ach. We adatki hastu chidach aya tlingit. Di awa hatu wasagu. Yak echa Johan gunil chish. Konach wuke.
We can.
Oh, fam. Kechat isik English. Yake.
Chataya.
Oh, what atsu? Chade chatnu. Cook.
Juan Tlain Yachatu Asak. Virginia Oliver. Tleitka. Nachsati Wudzinede Ayachat. Galchish.
Kachwa ak. Yakecha. Gunil chish. To cut Uhan again? Is that everybody? Okay. Any thoughts, questions, ideas, things before we move into lessons for tonight? And so again, we're just going to go over some nouns, and we'll see. We might have different ways that we've got different words for these things sometimes in different places. If we know the dialect differences, we'll point them out. And then we're going to go into some language structure stuff. That's kind of the plan for the rest of the evening. We'll probably take a 5-minute break in about 5 minutes. But any lingering thoughts or questions, things you want to share?
The two of us have a question about verbs that might mean strong. Now, when I actually say this, somebody would probably say, ha-eh, because it's like being boastful. But is there a difference between chat litzin and chat hewut?
That's a good question. Yeah. So I want to, maybe I'll try and ask Akishawa where she heard this one, or those of you who have access to speakers, see if they have heard this phrase. So it's another way to say strong. The way I've always heard it is chetlitzin. That's the way I've most commonly heard strong, but we also have this Khatlebut. And I have not heard that before. Satuk shared it with us last semester, and then we see that it's here. And it says down here, emotionally, tuwushibut would be emotionally strong. So maybe this has more to do with sort of mental strength and sort of emotional strength, whereas chitzin has to do with maybe physical strength. I don't know, but because this has tuwu in front of it, because if you say du tuwu chitzin, you're saying she or he is brave, courageous. But that's a good question. If anybody has access to a speaker, see if they know shibut and see what they say. And I'll touch base with Akisha and see if she has anything from her notes or memories. And I'll see if she knows which speaker gave her this one.
Nashish.
But I think Khetlitzin would probably be the most common way to say that. But there's certainly ways to say it, like if you've been sick and someone asks how you're doing and you say Kechatnatzin, I'm getting stronger. Then you're not talking about, going out there and winning arm wrestling contests, but you're talking about just getting to a place of strength. Okay. Sheesh. Any other thoughts or questions?
Sky to U here. Kune, I was wondering about, I was always taught from my late language mentor, Waksani, to say Daklasha Ayachat, that it was more appropriate because it indicated that I was a woman from the Eagle clan, but I think we still record it as from the Daklawadi clan, because Daklasha isn't a clan really, but it's just when we're talking that we indicate that we're a woman from that clan.
Yeah, there are a couple of clans that I hear regularly. Like, I think, so if we look at how that gets put together and how clan names generally get put together, so there's these things with Tlingit compounding that we'll see. So there's a word dak, and there's a word tleo, and then there's a word at. And then I'll show you the Shah part in a second. So when we say these, there's these three things, right? And those are three things. But if we're going to smash them into one word, generally there's this pattern that emerges. And the pattern goes like this. Everything tends to move short and low as far as vowels, except for the last syllable. That's usually how it works. And sometimes it's just the last whole word. So if you have this, then what you see is we go to duck. There's this thing that happens pretty regularly where if the EI, A, gets shortened, it'll go to an A sound. So this is just an interesting sort of thing, because the short version of this vowel is actually an E. So we go from eh to A. But in this case, this is something that happens regularly, is when an EI sound contracts with this type of thing, this type of pattern, then it's going to just go into a short A. So that's why you say daklawidi, is you can hear that A sound in there. And so what happens is it gets this relational marker, just like when we take possession of something. And so this is where you get this. The other thing, the tone sometimes jumps. Sometimes it'll stay high on the A part, and sometimes it'll jump over. But this back and forth between the A sound and the EI sound, you see it going both directions here, where this EI is changing to an A, and this A is changing to an EI. This is just something you're going to see a lot. the things can, and so vowel movement in Tlingit is it's just really interesting. I don't think it's something that you have to know all the rules for, but you'll just sort of spot these things and then you'll get to know them. So the other thing is if you wanted to say dak, eo, sha. So sha would be women. And there's a few clans that do this in particular. So I have heard Llukach Shah, Chukan Shah, Daktleo Shah, or Daktleo Shah. And so this is something others will, if you have the ton at the end, you're usually going to leave the ton and say Shawu after it. That's usually what I'm hearing, or just Shah. But it's pretty common. Not every clan does that, but I've heard lots of people who have done that. And it's just we're the women of this clan. And so what you have, the way that the clan names work is you're going to have some particular place. Like there's probably a place called Dakhleo. And then that they took their name from that place and they became, the way it usually translates, ut is something. So we just say the things belonging to that particular place. So there's a place called Tlukach, and that's where Tlukach Adi comes from. There's a place called Tluknach, which gets contracted to Tluknach, and then we'll put the Adi on the end of there. There's a place called Tauk On, and so Tauk On Adi becomes Tauk Nedi, and this is how compounding works. So the other types of clans that you get is you're going to get something, like you're going to get a kook, and then you're going to get a hit, and then the ton at the end, that refers to the people of that clan house. So that means usually that name was associated with the clan house of a particular clan. Deshu Hit becomes Deshitan. Ishka Hit becomes Ishkitan. Kawagani Hit becomes Kagwantan. And so this is the way that clans generally get put together. And it's kind of tends to be up to the clan whether they use the Shah designation to talk about being women of that particular clan. And sometimes it has a strong kind of a meaning, like with, it seems to me with the Chukan Shah, it's really tied to their identity as women of the clan, but sometimes it's used just to say, oh, well, the women of our clan, we're going to go do this thing, or we were doing this thing. So, Ika?
She was mentioning the Yenwasha too.
Yeah. And so with the Yunwa Shah, it seems to take a particularly special designator because they're talking about, it seems, coming over perhaps from Sitka. And so and sometimes if a group within a clan has a kind of a different migration story of how they got to a place, because you might say, oh yeah, we're this clan, but we're not the same as those guys. We came here at a different time, different circumstances, and so sometimes they'll take a name. And so this is the way that clans work, is sometimes you'll have, and some of them too, like there's some who will sometimes say the something something ton, but they'll say, oh yeah, we're also this. We're either one. Like I think Walter Sobolov would talk about, he had talked about that in a recording. He said, Tlineidi awa uhan, wan qanins ku'a, an chaketan yehadu saknuch. We're Tlineidi, but sometimes people always call us an chaketan. So sometimes it goes back and forth. Other times you'll see Tlineidi, and there's a group that branched out and became Yachtetan. And there are folks who don't like to be called Tlineidi anymore. They like to be called Yachtetan. And so sometimes it has to do with the dynamics of migrations, because sometimes the migration is, oh yeah, well we were here and then there got to be a bunch and then this group went over here. But sometimes the migration story is, oh yeah, we were here, then there was this huge fight, and then we cussed each other out on the beach, and then those guys left forever, and now they don't call us, they don't say they're one of us anymore, you know. And so it's dynamic. There's lots to it.
I've also heard Daklashawu, and I heard you mention that, but I've seen women from Kwakwan identify themselves that way too.
Yeah. And so this is pretty interesting too, because we talked last semester about how to, so a hit would become duhiti, right? So there's these rules that we learned about how to put a possessive marker on the object. And they could go on to people. But this is where you're going to get some kind of these hidden rounded ends, because we say ka, but if you're going to say this is my man, you say ach kawu. So it takes the rounded end as opposed to kayi. Once we learn the rules, we would expect it to be the Y sound on there, but it's the W. And same with sha. So the possessive form of, these are my women, which you gotta be careful of. But like to say the women of that clan, you hear shawu. So you also hear that because, and we know that too, because if we put, the other way that it kind of reveals itself is if you had ka, and then you say a bunch of guys, and then you would have ka. And so it's got this bit of a W on the end that just pops up. It's like it kind of fell off, but then it pops back up when we put a suffix on there. Okay, let's take 5, come back, grind out some nouns. We'll just make sure everybody's doing okay. So take 5, and then we'll start up again at a quarter till. A quarter till whatever time it is in your part of the world. Okay.
Or make sure that there's audio tapes. I'm looking for 2 audio tapes.
So for this part, what we'll do is we're just going to grind through some of these nouns. I want us to know the names of these things. And the way I like to do this is I'll just show you the picture. If somebody knows it, just feel free to say it, and then we'll take a look at, and then the next slide will show its name. And as we sort of go through this, there's a couple of things, and we've done this before, we'll do it again, just getting this base of things that you know the names of. And just go forward knowing there's lots of language programs and lots of languages that just get a little bit stuck in the realm of learning nouns. And so we're supplementing this with other stuff, but we just got to keep learning all these different things. And as you start using the language more and more, you're just going to find more and more things that you need to know the name of. And as we sort of look at it, look at the image, and then there's some different techniques that we were talking about on how to internalize these things. How do you practice the language? So part of that practicing at this phase should be making sentences, putting strings of thoughts together, starting to get to the point where you can start to tell little short narratives and things like that, and relay things, tell funny things, tell serious things, share things that contain knowledge that's communicated within the language. But as far as learning some of these nouns, some activities that are recommended are looking at how it's spelled, making sure that you can spell that and that you can hear the length of the vowels, the tone of the vowels, whether they're high or low, and that we're getting those particular consonants so that when we see that, we know which. It's a one symbol, one sound type of alphabet. That way if somebody tells us something, we'll be able to get a pretty good guess on how to write it down. So then, so we'll look at the picture and I'll just say dasaya, or maybe I'll just show you the picture, I don't have to say anything, and you just say the name if you know it. If you find you're saying a bunch of them, then maybe hold off for a second and see if someone else is going to recall it. And then we'll just move through here and we'll see there's a bunch of them. So we'll just do this kind of fast. We'll only do them each a couple times. because you can go through and review these on your own. We've done them before, but this is a good sort of starting off point. Again, when we get together on Tuesday of next week, I would like you to bring 5 sentences that flows together and tells us something. That's it. Just do that, and then bring those. Okay. Tasaya qa'a.
Ataye.
Ye'awa. Atdaye. Atdaye.
That doesn't grow down here though, does it? I see it in Anchorage and Fairbanks.
Yeah, it's not so much. If you go up by, you'll probably find some up by Cluckwan, Skagway.
By Safeway.
Yeah, there's some in my yard that's been planted. It just leans way over. Yakdot, it's in northern parts, yeah. Yataqa dasaya.
Tuss.
Yeah, away. Tuss.
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 What?
Yeah, away. Shawat.
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 Yataqa. Yeah, away. So there's another that might pop up before a verb, and it just means at that place. So you could say yeti, and that could mean it's at the lake. He or she is at the lake. Yeti, but more likely it's going to mean is at that place. And you'll see it in a lot of, if they're going to name something, they'll say adatki diltini ye, the place where children are looked after. So that's the name of like a daycare in Tlingit. So it's kind of misleading. We don't really have a compass for directions, but if you're going southward, Isikuga, yeah, awa, Ichki, Ichki, and then we're always just keeping in mind and helping others keep it in mind that when we see an X, it's. I was thinking like my cat is really mad because we got her fixed, and she's been like hissing at me a lot, and I'm just thinking all X's right now, right? And so, but that's that scrapey sound. It's not the sound, like that's the one with the underline on it. Yataqa dasaya. Yeah. Yeah. What? Te. Yeah. What? Sate. 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 So this is another one of those things. So you have, this comes from sa, at, and it just flattens out and it goes long. There's some, when you push 2 vowels together, sometimes some interesting things happen. So sa is this part of your body, we talked about that. And then at is a thing, that's how you get sate. It's a type of tree, I guess. So yes, it's correct. It's technically correct. Os, but it's sheyi. Sheyi.
Digitya.
Digitgiya. Digitgiya.
Digitya.
Hit.
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 Yeah, wow. Ayaudati.
Ayauditi.
Ayaudati.
Yaudati.
That one's probably more of a verb. Quad like Kalkinach mink.
Nukshian.
Yeah, oh, Nukshian.
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 Achoa. Shukshian.
Nukshian.
Shukshian.
Nukshian.
Yeah, oh, good. Good.
Atyai.
Whoosh, yayi.
Whoosh, yayi.
Atyai.
Whoosh, yayi.
Whoosh, yayi.
So this is made up of two parts. What do you think the two parts might be? Together, whoosh or whooch is together. And face, right? So faces together. Whoosh, yayi. And so you see, so this is another rule that we talked about last semester was ya. And then if you put the suffix on there, what's going to happen is that's going to flatten that single high vowel will go long and low. So te, yi, ya, yi. But you usually don't see the possessive marker on there unless your face fell off. I guess like that Nicolas Cage movie where they took faces off or something. I guess there was another scary movie.
So what's, is it two aces or a playing card?
Pair.
A pair.
Pair.
Ushiayi.
Chish. Yata ko'a dasaya. Yeah, oh, wow. Una.
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 Yai.
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 Like enach herring.
Yao.
Yeah, oh, wow. Yao.
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 A.
E.
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 Okay. Yeah, oh, wow. Konach v'tusaku. Siu.
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 Eslin ko'a. Seam.
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 Nu.
Nu.
Wow. Nu.
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 Nu. Yana 8.
Yeah, wow. Yana 8.
Yana 8.
Yana 8.
Yana 8.
Bane of my raspberries.
Yak. 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 And sometimes if it's specified like this one with the two things, like a, what do they call a rowboat? On the yaku.
On the yard.
What does it say yak?
Saknain.
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 Cheech.
Yeah, what? Cheech.
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 Da.
Yeah, what? Da.
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 Da. Ow.
Gao.
Ow.
Gao.
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 Aislinn, I was hearing a couple different things. I was hearing gam, and I was hearing gao with this. This sound is alive and well in Daislin and Teslin, and also in Carcross, and also in Cluckwan. So the first one, gao. Second one, gam. Third one, gang. Gang. It almost sounds like gong, but it's not nearly as, the G sound is not really on there. Gong. And then we were trying to figure out, we're getting different answers for ach, ga, wu, and ach, ga, yi. We were hearing both of them in Tessin.
Is that the same sound in that lullaby that in the recording?
It's probably in there. This is a sound that was all across Tlingit country probably 100 years ago. 100 years ago, I bet you every community made this sound. But then it faded. And then it became either a Y or a W. And in some cases, in Teslin, it will often become an M. Not every time, but often. Yeah, what? Heen. Heen.
Heen.
Janmu.
Yeah, what? Janmu.
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 Jinmu.
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 Jannu.
Janu.
Jannu.
Janu.
Jun.
Jan.
Jun.
Jan.
It's got 4 names, depends where you see him or her, right? So if you go to, if you're here in Juneau and you see one, you say, what's the way, Junmu? You'll say, oh, okay. If you see one in Yakutat, Gwashlisatin, what's the way, Junmu? Klesh, Junmu, Jinmu Ayachat. If you see one in Dayslin, say Janu. You see one in Carcross, and say Jun.
Tlugwan.
Chakwan?
Tlugwan, Janu.
Oh, Janu. Okay, it's a Jish.
Cocaine.
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 Cane.
Noosk.
News.
Noosk.
News.
Yeah. Sock.
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 Shaw.
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 Tia.
Yeah, what? Tia.
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 Wasus.
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 Wasus. Wasus. Right?
Oh, Hasqa. Like,
No?
that's my running inland cow joke, which I'll never let go of. But they don't, that was so just, yeah, they don't say masus.
Oh, here.
Only I say masus.
Oh, okay.
Stray.
Oh,
Yep,
dear.
teaching it all wrong.
Yuck.
Yeah, what? Yak.
Yuck.
Yak.
Sock. Sock. Yak.
Oh yeah, so if you had hooligan and mussels in your boat, sock, kayak, achyak, well, we'll just say not my boat, we'll say sock, kayak, yak, yikt. Yikt is how you get into a boat and a car. A boat and a car, you're going to yikt into the boat. And the boat is going to yikt into the river. Okay. Yeah, oh, seek.
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 Donna.
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 Kawoot.
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 Kawoot. Dis.
This.
Dis.
This.
Dis.
Somebody was sharing, they're like, look, if you didn't get a picture of the blood moon, here it is. But it was just a slice of pepperoni. It's pretty fun. Keshish.
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 On.
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 Niche. Niche. Geesh. Geesh.
Gun.
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 Gun. There's probably a relation between these four words. So there's gun, short and high, which is firewood. There's gun, but you don't see it by itself, but that's like a campfire. And then there's gone, which is long and high, and that's outside. Then there's gone, long and low, and that's the smokehouse. They're probably all completely related.
Cost.
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 Shayate.
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 So this is another one of those compounds. So we'll see. You've got sha, and then ye, and then at. So ye is below. Thing below the head.
Keat.
Heat.
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 Ton.
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 Yin.
Yain.
Yay.
Yain.
Yain.
Dekinach enach yanu. Goose aya ye do sago at isikuge dasoit let enach goose. Cloud. Yeawe achin kaduinik hoa suits kanyu chetangi. Goose aya yain. So they were teaching us like some Simshan, and they showed us a cloud, and they're like yain. I was like, oh cool, it's like the sea cucumber of the sky.
Gooch.
Gooch. Gooch.
Gooch. Nadak.
Nadak. Nadak.
Nadak.
Kushta.
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 Douche.
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 Kutia.
Oh, kutia.
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 Kutia. Canast.
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 Kahak. Kahak.
Shakiat.
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 So shaki, well, shah is head and ki is above, but shaki together means on top of the head or on top of a mountain. So shakiat, the thing on top of the head. Na'at. Na'at.
Na'at.
Jaji.
Yeah, Jaji.
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 Yeah, and then there's a type of them that's called qaqjini, which is pretty awesome. Lynx feet.
Now.
Shao. Shao.
Shao.
Cheyenne.
Shayena.
Ayena.
Shayena.
Ayena.
So there's a sha, and then there's ya, which is to lower something, like kaudliya yihit. So shaya, so shayena would be the one that gets lowered by the head.
Away.
Yeah, away. Taway.
Away.
Taway.
Away.
Na.
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 Yeah, away. Yuka oot.
Yuka oot.
Yuka oot. Ha yuka ooty.
Ha yuka uti.
Ha yuka ooty.
Yuka
Uti.
I wonder if I said a oot or na oot. A sucker on an octopus.
Zait.
Zait. Zait. Sa. Sa.
Anquayi.
Yeah, what? On Quayi. On Quayi.
Quayi.
So a quay is a verb root as well, and it means to just mark something. So each quayi is a buoy that marks where the reef is underwater. Quayi is the name for the fin behind the, they call it, is it called a pectoral on a salmon? The fin, what's that?
Dorsal.
Dorsal. So the fin behind the dorsal is called quayi, the marker. Cheat. 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 Yo, Incheyi.
Cheyi.
Incheyi.
Cheyi.
Eek.
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 Where'd it go? Atzi. Atzi. He flew away. Adachwadiqeen. Quat. Quat.
Zisk.
Zisk. Zisk.
Zisk.
Hoots.
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 Khwazda.
Huasta.
Huasta.
Huasta. So if you have a tent, like a more of a portable tent, they usually call that sisahit. If you have a wall tent, they call that huastahit. So it's because it's one's out of canvas and one's out of cloth, I guess.
Canvas is cloth.
Gach. Inka konik yat. Ye awa. Dachnach awe ach yet kich wutien. Ya kashkes kashawat ke. Gwash naskoe du katagu kashkes. Ye du kik koa. Gwash kay kaya du katagu. Hutanaya. Ak. Adach aya. Wutu wakuch. Wutu wakuch. Aqawe kliye ayaha wakuchu. Achawe we gauch tla. Kagwash. Daguni nach awe du yetki. De kanach hasya na'at. Ya aghyedki has chewawus just lishukutin. Yisikuke wasaya naqich wigah huqa like Aka awe aghyedi yewaka. Maybe they're ducklawady. Oh, let's see. Bill, the Tide Rock. Which Tide Rock are you talking about? In the Raven story? Or are you talking about one that's the big boulder in the water? Tlachadis. Each is a reef or a big rock in the water, and then the Tide Rock. Well, the one that they were having Raven's mother look for so that he could be born was, oh, I know it. Shanyatei is what they call it. And I don't know if I think that's a really round rock, is Shanyatei. I don't know if that's when you're talking.
No, because I think there was a name for a rock that had quayi in it.
Oh, I see. Each Quayi. So each is a, so it would be like this. So this is a buoy that marks where the reef is so that you don't run aground. People don't want other people to run aground, so they'll put a reef marker up. So each can be a reef or a big boulder, big huge rock in the water that the tide goes up and down on. That seems to be one of the things. And so each is what the sea lions live on. It's what the birds like to perch on, especially yuk, qanuq. There's some birds that don't come to the shore very much. Both yuk, yisikuke dasawe, kleitchaqinachoa, yuk. Gosh qanuk, witaka, ikki aya, gosh kitchan, gosh aye haswati, tesh yaukqa, tesh shkakwe, tesh yaukdan. San Francisco, chutechia chosatin, yuk, kleitchaqinach, yuk, cormorant, yeduasago, qanuk petrol. Ye'awa San Francisco chosatin, wuch in, ya just atas qin, atas kanashlich. So both of those birds, in separate stories, Raven pulled their tongue out and told them they're not allowed to come back to the shore. So if you see them, they're not shorebirds. They just stay out on those reefs. And they don't make very many sounds because their tongue got pulled out by Raven. Okay. Yatekho atasaya. Flush. 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 Plate. Plate. Ya ak kach ya plate ya natlane. Achoe siu dak wusatan akach. Ook. Ook. Ich. 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 Kach. should make paper out of apples, because then it'll be so I'm going to try and make that happen. Although an envelope is called which is kind of fun too. It's the paper around a paper. Teeth. This one like a boot though. Quan. Quan. And there's a quan is also something you can add to a command. And I don't think we need to do it a whole bunch, but if you're trying to be sort of extra polite, but that doesn't, it's not like please, because please you add to a whole bunch of things, right, in English. But it's kind of similar. But I used it with my kids one time. I said something like, "Achitza en hin Juan," and she turned to me. She says, "I'm not a boot." So she just knew it as boot. These ones, what are these ones? I think I'm getting into different pictures. Okay, let me jump ahead and talk about this a little bit. So I was thinking about how to start talking about verbs and just continuing to have a few different illustrations and ways that we think about how a verb works in Tlingit. And so I'm trying this tree thing based on some amazing presentations I saw. New York City, Koechasatin. Ya hasiyu atangi hasitwasaku akoshihitwe at yahai. Ya awahayu atangiyat ayach. So we'll use a few different metaphors to just keep thinking about Tlingit verbs. So a verb, there's many parts to a verb. So there's the verb phrase, which means it's everything that needs to be there to understand how the verb works. So you say, ayach keojituk. You need all of those things because it means it blew up and flipped over. And so if there's other things, like you say, wugud, he went home. That all needs to be there, because we'll learn that there's certain things that you can't take away because now the verb is just kind of changed. So there's some things that we call the preverb, the verb, and the postverb. So the way that I've put this together is the preverb is the top of the tree. The verb is the tree and the roots, and then the postverb is down under the ground. So we're just trying to think of like, how do these things work and what do these things do? And it's something I'm still working on because it has English and Tlingit, because this is not has, this is hus, right? And so it's written, I'll have to figure out, I have to pick a language or I don't know. But anyways, if we go through, the preverb means it's part of the verb, but it's a word that appears separately before the verb itself. So if I say, hus chwasatin, I see them. Hus is in the preverb because it's its own word separate from the verb. If I say neshte chwagud, I went home, neshte is in the preverb. It's not the verb itself, but you need it there to understand how the verb is working. So the types of things you're going to see in this spot is going to be hus, which is going to pluralize third persons. And so third persons are the he or the she or the them. It's these other people that we're talking about. It's also going to have all the motion, towards, from, through, above, below, all those types of things. There's all these different, and so Tlingit loves to put things in categories. So there's 4 different categories of motion, and we're going to look at them later. But basically there's motion that's ongoing, motion that reaches a stopping point, upward motion, downward motion. Those are the 4 types. And Tlingit the verb will go through some changes for each of those 4 types. Okay. It can also affect meaning, right? To like come to completion. So you could say, "Chwacha" would be I ate it, right? "Yach chwacha" means I ate it all, or I finished eating, right? So it could just start adjusting the meaning a little bit. And then it can modify. So we can modify the verb. So we could say, a kaushachit, she or he wrote it. Kashtegeinach kaushachit, they wrote it slowly. Ka kasakaushachit, they wrote it quickly. So then we can just start to adjust what the verb is doing, and that's going to come right before the verb itself. So there's a set of things that we can learn to learn how to do that with verbs. So then we get to the verb itself. And there's these different parts. And these parts, I like to put them in the order that you're going to hear them, see them, or use them. So it's kind of going left to right, the first things that we're going to hear. And then the first thing is like this object. Who is it happening to? Or who, it's happening to somebody. And not every verb has an object, but if it does, it's going to pop up right here. Right? So this is going to, and we'll look at some examples here. Probably next week. We're out of time. We're running out of time. But next week we'll look at some examples. What happens when we start changing these things in the different parts of the verb? And so this is where you say chat-yak-e, e-yak-e, has-yak-e, yak-e, ha-yak-e, yi-yak-e, ka-yak-e. Those are all changing the object. And so the object, and we'll learn in Tlingit what an object generally does. It's usually the one that the verb is happening to. But it could also mean who is that way. Who's strong, right? Chitzin, chetchitzin, ichitzin. Who's stinky? Chetchichan, ichichan, yichichan, kachichan, or kuchichan. So that's the object. The next thing that you're going to run into is what we call these thematic things. They pop up onto a verb to just sometimes give it special meaning. And then all of those mean something. J is hands. Ya is the vertical surface or face of something. Ka is the horizontal surface of something. Sh is the end. Sha is the head. You'll see tuq'eh, that could be built into a verb. That's the butthole. That could be built, tuq'eda'a. He was really just sitting on his butthole. And so those are things that you're going to see that get put in right there. There's some that are very common. So what I'll show you next week is the most common ones that you're going to encounter. Ya, ka, sha, and you'll see those ones. So that way when you hear a verb and they say akaushchit, you hear that ka on there. Qudziti, you hear that qu on there. And those all mean something. And there's quite a few of them, but they have a direct meaning. So then we get into this area that we call conjugation. And that's where we say, did it happen? Did it not happen? Are we going into the future? Are we moving it into, and this is just how we move the verb around to these different things. Might happen, will happen, won't happen, did happen, didn't happen, is happening. Do it, don't do it. All of those things, a lot of them are going to happen here. There might be some things that pop up into the preverb as well, like kleish, that pops up and that means to not be that way. Then we'll get to the subject, and the subject is who is doing it. Chasachan, I love him or her. Isachan, you love him or her. Tusachan, we love him or her. So there's a list of things, and you just start to learn how to use those so that you're just saying who is doing the verb. This is the doer of the verb. Then every verb has a classifier, and the first thing the classifier does is there's these 4 groups. And those groups just sort of say generally what is the verb sort of talking about. And then there's some reasons why it might change, but one is it's going to belong to one of those groups. And if it changes groups, it's a whole new verb. And so sometimes it means it's not just happening, somebody's making it happen, right? It's ready, you got it ready, right? The other thing with the classifier is it can get a little, I drew a little mushroom thing on there to say plus I. It goes plus I if we're marking that the verb indeed happened. So this is where Tlingit gets really tricky and fun, is it marks tons of stuff in the verb and it communicates it all within that single verb. It can also go plus D, and that usually means that the person's doing that is kind of doing it to themselves as well. So any of these, like to put it inside your, to take the knowledge and to study is like I'm teaching myself, to see yourself, to talk about yourself. All of those things would be what we call plus D, and you're going to see. So you say adewugut. He went there. Kuchwudagut. He came back, and so it goes. There's certain things that we'll learn that push it plus D. Then you're going to have a verb root, and that root contains meaning. To means to study, to teach, to read, to count. It could be any one of those things. Chit is to furrow, like a field. But that's what you do when you're writing, is you're furrowing that paper. And then we'll see, we just learn a whole bunch of verb roots, and then we'll learn all the different verbs that are within that verb root. Every verb will usually, the stem will start to change. So we might have gut, 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 all for that same verb. Teen, teen, tin. And we'll see that vowel shifting predictably. And then you'll have some suffixes, some post-verb stuff. And so we'll keep looking at this tree. We got a couple other illustrations we'll look at, like a little switchboard, and we're just going to start changing verbs and learning how to change them. This is how you get off of the book. This is how you get out of, you'll reach a point where you'll just have to look something up to say, oh yeah, what was that? What was the thing for that verb? Then you'll look it up, then you'll know how to use it in all these different ways. And it takes a lot of time and practice, and what we tend to do is look at language and break down how it's working, and then try and put it together ourselves. But start with the really basic stuff. Doing it, not doing it. Will do it, won't do it. And did it, didn't do it. And I'll show you how to put those 6 forms together. The rest of the stuff, it's really fun, but nata is go to sleep. Wuta, she or he slept. Keshuwata, didn't sleep. Ta is sleeping right now. And then keshuta, not sleeping. But then it gets kind of long. Keshadeunqata, can't sleep. So there's some really long forms, but we'll save those for later. Yak egun chish, wasklehooch aya, Kajin, ya yukatangi achtuasaku kayishahiti. So write 5 sentences and just share them with us. And they could just be about anything at all. It's just a chance to create some language, share it as a group. Next week I'll give you your translation exercise for the semester, which is your, what do we say, midterm project or something? And then we'll review what our work is, our assignments, because we'll start doing these little dialogues and other things. We'll talk about that on Tuesday. Gonna cheesh.
Cool. Sheesh.